Hello, great people of God. God bless you. This is your own very sister, Utiri. I want to use this same opportunity to wish you Happy New Year. You made it. I made it. All glory to God. But I want you to know that the reason why you are here today is for a purpose. So let's be grateful to God and do that wish He has called every one of us to do. So the reason why I'm here today is because of the revelation that I had back in October 13, 2024. And now it is first month of the year, January 2025. And this revelation is about a big giant rabbit that transformed into a great, handsome man of God. Handsome, great man of God. And I know that probably some of you might be wondering, why now? Now, I will explain to you why now, okay? But back in October when I had this dream, I was really waiting to hear from God. Why did He reveal all this to me? What is it? Is this for a particular person? Because as of that time when I had this revelation, there are a couple of people that I know that was in it. So I waited and wait, and I wasn't getting any other information but some instructions. So I reached out to these other people that I know that I saw in the vision, and I gave them some of the instruction. But obviously, this is January, first month of the year, 2025. And I want to thank God that you are hearing me this first month of the year, January. You are hearing this. And I beg of you, I am pleading with you, don't be in a haste to delete this video or to bypass this video. And don't take this video for granted. Because the reason why I am reaching out to you is for your own good, for your family and your loved ones. So I am begging you, please do not be in a haste to delete this video. If you can, pass it across. Because there is a message here, there is an instruction here that is attached to this revelation that will help you. So, as you can see, this is it right here. And it's 2 pages. This was the 10th month, October 13, 2024. 2 pages. I always sleep with my book. I always like to write down whenever God reveals anything to me. And right here, I have some instruction of what God gave me. So please do not be in a haste to delete this video. Now, this revelation about this rabbit, a gray, big, giant rabbit. I was in a building. God opened my eyes to see. And what I saw, if it wasn't for God, if it wasn't the Spirit of God in me, only God knows what would have happened. I was in a place, a building. You know how a church building is open for people to come in. I was standing in the front of the building, about to walk in, and I was the only one that was there first. There was nobody around. I was the only one. And God opened my eyes, and I looked up on top of the entrance of the building. There was this so-called giant gray rabbit that transformed into a human. There was something inside of me that was saying that, are you truly going to walk in there? Knowing there's something in front of you. And I began to stare at this rabbit. And the Spirit of God was doing something else inside of me that I can't even explain what was going on. All I know that there was a voice that was trying to convince me to be afraid or to flee. But whatsoever that was happening inside of me gave me the strength to be able to look at this giant. And I walked into this building, and this giant was staring at me so closely. And I walked into this building, and this giant, I'm pretty sure he was looking at me that, who are you? Me. That is a question that I cannot really, let me not go that far. And this rabbit was staring at me, eyeball to eyeball, just like the way I'm staring at this camera. I guess I was thinking that if he stared at me hard enough, I would get scared and I would leave. But whatsoever that was burning inside of me was just too much that I was not even able to think or worry about what this rabbit would do to me. And I walked into this building, and I walked into a lobby. And this giant left from the outside entrance and came inside the entrance and was walking around the four corners of the lobby that I was standing. And there was other room in the corner there, and I was looking to see what was going on in that room. And there was some group of people. I don't know if they were pastors, if they were having a meeting, I don't know what it was. But there was nobody else inside the lobby but me and this so-called rabbit. And this rabbit was staring at me. I wanted to go into the other room, but for some reason, the spirit that was inside of me was just telling me to stay calm. And as I was staying calm, this rabbit was staring at me so hard, so with, I don't know, that I was bored enough to stare at this rabbit. And as I was looking at this rabbit, he came so close to me like this, Rabashika Tondiaba. He came so close to me like this, staring at me. And the spirit that was inside of me, Rabash Kipato, I was staring back at this rabbit. And he could not handle it but to transform, to show the really who he is. As he was coming down, he was actually changing, transforming into a man with a clean suit, well dressed. And I was looking at him as he was transforming, coming down. And he came down and he stood in the lobby. And I looked at him and he looked at me. But nothing else took place while we were staring at each other. And I looked in the office to see if those people saw what I was saying. It's obviously that I was on my own, but somebody was with me. Rabashkiba. So as I was looking, nobody came forward to see what I was doing, see what I was saying. So it was just me and this so-called rabbit that transformed into a man of God. And before you know it, when I turned, there were a group of people that came to church. Now, when they enter inside the building, they were in this same lobby that I was in. So it's like the service was actually taking place inside this lobby. I don't know where they came from. I didn't see them when they were coming into the building, but I just saw them seated. They were seated. And some people that I knew was there. And as I was looking, knowing the fact that this was not a real man of God that I saw, I was disturbed. Like, this person, I know this person, I know this person. What are they doing here? Did they really know who this man is? But for some reason, they were not able to hear me. I want to speak, but it's like nobody can hear me. Okay, so this man was actually laying hands on every single person that was in that building, in that lobby. As he was laying hands, I want to do something, but I don't know what God was up to, that I just couldn't. It's like nobody can hear me, but only my eyes was just saying. But I was just talking to God like, why? What is going on? Why am I saying this? Why can't I do something? Why are you not allowing me to do something? And I felt this space inside of me that I am here to see. I am here for a reason. I'm going to give you some more details of what God was about with this vision. But I could not do anything, and I was just looking, and this man of God was just laying hands on people. And there were some people that were so eager, so desperate for the man of God to call them, to speak to them, or to do something, or to instruct them to do something, or to lay hands on there. And knowing what I know, and these people did not know, Maria Kashkibo. So these people were just sitting there, and this man of God was calling them one by one, laying hands on them. By the time they finished, it started raining. And he whispers something. Each time he lay hands on anyone, he will whisper something in their ears. And all of a sudden, it started raining. And people started disappearing from the building one by one. And I was looking, I said, okay, it was a lot of people here. Where are everybody? One by one, the room was becoming, the crowd of people that were there, they were no longer. One by one, everybody was just disappearing. And the Lord took me outside. And when I went outside, it was raining badly. And all these people that were disappearing, they were actually dropping dead as they were leaving the building. They were dropping dead. And I asked God, I said, what is going on? Why can't you do something? Why are you showing me this? What do you want me to do? And I just couldn't do nothing. I was watching these people. By the time I turn around, this person is dropping. By the time I try to reach out to someone to let them know that, hey, come back. I don't know why I'll be asking them to come back. They were already dropping dead one by one. There were some people that made it to their car. They start their car engine. By the time they said they should take off, they are dead in the car. There are some people that actually made it to their front door in their house. By the time they said they should open the door and go in, they already dropped dead. There are some people that have other places to be at. By the time they get there, they are gone. And there was one of the people that were contaminated that was actually trying to reach out to me. But I don't know. I don't know what took place. They tried so hard to get to me, but it didn't work. Now, let me tell you what God told me about the last conversation this man of God had with these people before they started dropping dead. It said this rabbit infused something inside of them. Infused something inside of them. There's some kind of trade that took place. And there was an instruction that was given to these people. Immediately he did it. He knew whatever it is that he was going to do. Immediately he finished laying hands on them. He knew it was going to rain, and he just told them to start entering the and they started going. That was the instruction that he gave to them. This was the instruction these so-called rabbits gave to these people, and they didn't know what was happening to them. They didn't know. Now, let me tell you something. This thing that was infused into these people, what I want you to catch out of this revelation is that be careful. Because you don't know who is who. You don't know who's laying hands on you. You don't know the instruction that is being given to you. You don't know what is attached to it. Now, this message, some people might take an offense with this message. I am saying, please don't. Except you know that you are like this so-called person that God revealed to me. Then it's okay for you to be upset. But if you know you are not, glory to God. Now, to the church. Who are the church? Not the building. It's definitely you and I. Be careful. The hands that they are laying on you, that people are laying on you. Because you never know the spirit that they carry. You don't know what kind of instruction that they are giving to you. You don't know what is attached to that instruction that is being given to you. There are people today that are walking around with their destiny being tampered with. Their glory is being tampered with. Their marriage is being tampered with. Them not being able to conceive is being tampered with. I'm not saying that is why a lot of people are not able to be conceived. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying there are things that is taking place in the world that if you don't draw close to God, if you don't draw close to God, if you don't know God one-on-one to yourself, you will be deceived. A lot of the problem, the sickness that you are facing, you never know where they are coming from. Now, I'm not saying that people don't go through problem naturally, but again, you already have one that you are trying so hard, praying to God to help you, but you are even going out there collecting from different spirits in the name of so-called man of God. Please, men, women of God, don't take an offense of this message. Because I actually sat down and I thought about this very well before coming now to talk to you. Like I said, if you are one of these so-called rabbits that God revealed to me, change. Because these innocent churches, which is the we, not the building, these so-called churches that are trusting we men and women of God with their life. God paid the price for us all. So they are not yours to toy with. So change if you are one of this rabbit that I'm talking about. But if you are not, I salute you. Continue to do what God wants you to do. Now to the churches, be careful. I am not saying, well, your pastor want to pray for you, don't. I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm not saying flee from your pastor, but I'm saying be careful. Test the spirit that is working with that so-called man or woman of God. If you read in the book of Matthew 7 verse 15, let me get my Bible. I will read from King James. It says, beware of the false prophet who comes to you in a sheep clothing, but inwardly are raven. You don't know who these people are. Now, I'm not saying you should flee from men of God. Please, don't get me wrong. Don't quote me wrong on that. Because I know a lot of people will come for me. But if you come for me, you are not coming for me. You are coming for the one who died on the cross for you. People's destiny has been tampered with. Glory has been tampered with. Problem in their marriage. You never know where all that is coming from. It's like you adding into what you're already going through because you don't know the hands that has been touching you, lay hands on you and all that. I am saying to you that God will open your eyes. May God grant you the spirit of discernment that you'll be able to discern when the wrong ones are coming your way. When instruction is being given to you, pray about it. My dear, pray about it. Whatever instruction that has been given to you, I'm not saying don't obey your pastor, don't obey your whatever you call it, but pray before you implement any instruction that has been given to you. Seek the face of God. Now, Matthew 7 verse 17 says, even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. Definitely, every fruit that bringeth good fruits, you will know. If it's of the bad, you will know. How would you know? Seek the face of God. Before you step out to go to a church or to wherever you want to go, church or wherever you want to go, seek the face of God. Let God be your number one. Let God be your number one. Let God be your number one. Right here says Matthew 7 verse 18. It said, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. Tell me, why that man that transformed into a so-called man of God, after laying hands on those people, they begin to drop dead? Now, in reality, all this that I'm talking about now is happening. It might not be you dropping dead. It might be things are not working out right as it should. It might be whatever it is that you have been facing has doubled. want you to know, be careful. Be careful. Not every hand you accept to touch you. Your children, your spouse, your belly, your head, every part of you, your pregnancy. Be careful. Don't give your life to man, give your life to God. Because if you give your life to this God that gave his life for you, he will direct your path. He will open up your eyes to see things before it ever begins to happen. I am a living testimony of that. I am a product of it. Doesn't mean that I don't have anything going on in my life. I do have my own cross that I'm carrying. But guess what? There is no battle that we human beings don't fight. We fight. But God always have a way of coming through. Because he himself went through his own. And at the end of the day, you see, he's alive. So, please be careful of who lay hands on you. Pray before you go to church. When anyone laying hands on you, don't just surrender your life to them to be speaking in your life or to be whatever. As they are doing, you'll be doing it too. This is not a sign of disobedience. This is you actually testing the spirit that is speaking to you, that is laying hands on you. You have the power. The reason why I say you have the power is because if God is in you, definitely he will speak, he will intervene. Now, some of the instruction that I got from this revelation, which I was able to reach out to some of the people that I knew that was part of that vision, but not knowing that it wasn't just for them alone. Now, this is what I want you to do. This is what the instruction God gave me. Reach out. Pray for yourself. I already say always pray before you leave the house. Whenever any hands want to touch you, always pray while that is happening. Pray. When I say pray, pray. Don't pray. Mean what you are saying. When you are talking to God, your thoughts are ways of also communicating. When you are thinking of something negative, that thing that you are thinking about is actually giving birth, is causing something else. And the spirit realm or whatever you call it. But if you are praying and whatever you are praying about is that you are talking to God, you are communicating with God for God to intervene, for God to direct, or whatever it is that you are communicating, or you want God to do, he can hear you, because the spirit that is inside of you can hear everything. I don't know if I'm making sense here, but I pray that God will open your eyes and your heart to be able to process what I'm telling you. So the instruction that I got, always pray before you leave your house to church. Always pray before you visit any man of God. Always pray whenever any hands is laying on you or whatever it is. Always pray. Always pray when anyone is laying hands on your children, any part of your body, anything that concerns your life, your marriage, your business, or whatever it is. Always pray first. You cannot live your life, or you cannot release your soul or whatever it is to a man. Give it to God. Let God be the number one person you give it to before anyone. So he will know how to come through for you and to block anything that is not of God. Test the spirit. And I pray that God will open your eyes to be able to discern. And also, as you are praying, based on the fact that this is something that is actually happening, it's happening. It's not like it's not happening. It's happening already. But the instruction that God wants me to pass across to you is to pray for your loved ones. Pray for your friends. Tell your friends to pray for. Pass this video across. Pray for people that you know. Not only people that you know, but the ones you don't know. both the ones you have their picture, both the ones you've seen before, you've never seen before, but you've come across them somewhere. Just pray for one another. Because a lot of people are being contaminated by all these false men and women and prophets of God. Not all of them, those that are wearing those fake clothing that I'm talking to. Yes, they are the one I'm talking to. The church is contaminated. And we are here praying every single day. God do this, God do this, God do this. When God finish, because you cannot wait for God's timing, you cannot wait for God to hear your prayer or to answer your prayer. You carry your body, give all your all to people to be laying hands on you, doing this, want them to perform instant magic. Remember, the Bible said, our time and his time is different. So be patient when you pray. So please reach out to people, reach out to your loved ones. If they are far away from you, just imagine, have their picture in your head. Pray for them. As God is blessing you, delivering you from all this whatsoever, let God also reach out to them. Let this prayer also extend to them. And I was asking God, I said, okay, how is this possible? Like, if I finish praying for myself now, how would I know that these other people, whether the one I know and the one that I did not know, how would they know that you will deliver them? This, God said, we should not worry about that. He said, do not worry about how this prayer is going to get to them. Just like this water that is so full to the brim of this cup like this. Can you count? If they say you should count it, can you count the numbers of this water? He said, no. That's what I said. I said, no, I can't count. Then he said something about sand. Am I not pronouncing it right? He said, when you pack sand in your hand, sorry, I'm using salt at the moment. You can see the salt. But it says sand. But the reason why I'm using salt is because it's wet outside. And all the sand is just, it's not a good way for me to really, it's not in a place where I'll be able to demonstrate. This, let me just call this sand. It's salt, but it's sand. You see, like the way I'm pouring this sand right here. Will I be able to count each string or each numbers of this sand? No. He says, so when we pray and we put all these people in our head, in our mind, as we are praying for ourselves and also reaching out to them, the fact that we cannot count this water, we cannot count this salt, the rest is left for him to do. It's not something we should worry about, because you never know how far your prayer can go. So this is what he said. When you pray, reach out, pray, let your prayer extend to those that you know, those that know the ones that you know. He said, just do that. God bless you. I hope that this video meets you well. Share it to your friends and your loved ones. And as you pray, pray for your loved ones, pray for your friends, pray for your friends' friends. As this salt and sand, as you cannot count it, it's the same way you don't know how far your prayer can go. Just leave it to God. God bless you. I love you. And be careful out there, because God loves you so much. He died. He paid the price for you. So don't be a fool for anyone to destroy your destiny. God bless you. Bye-bye.